Hello everyone. In this guide, I will teach you how to clear the night mode floors up to 10. Also, I would like to mention that I am not going to recommend any specific stat numbers. You can use these as reference if you like. I use same stats all the way up to floor 10. Without further ado, let's get started. Floor 1 is pretty simple. We just need to hit and kill them in the right order to remove the damage restriction. Order is based on the lowest to highest HP. So, kill the Gurumi first, then go for Konomi and kill Melomi at last. AoE skills can also be used here, but make sure to change target to the correct mob. Otherwise, it may not work well. Floor 2 has 2 enemies. Focus on the orc first. His damage restriction will keep getting lower as he takes damage. Damage restriction of Melomi will be removed after the orc is dead. In floor 3, both enemies must be killed together. Otherwise, one of them will gain a huge attack buff. Their damage restriction is removed around 300k HP, which is pretty much useless. Fourth floor can be a little complicated. Bring 1 defense reduction skill to the battle. After a little while in the battle, Yoromi will gain a buff. Use that skill to remove the damage restriction on Yoromi. Killing the Yoromi will remove the restriction on Rabber. If you haven't noticed yet, Rabber also get a mark. If it is not hit 2 times during that mark, it will stun us with a high damage attack. Be careful with that. Floor 5 is another pretty simple floor. Just kill the mob whenever it spawned to decrease the damage restriction on the boss. But the boss will also do increased damage after that. We can also choose to ignore the mob till the end. But it takes a lot of time to kill the boss if we do that. Floor 6 is also very simple. Hitting Gyorumi when it uses Vortex will remove the restriction from Octopa for 10 seconds. We can choose to ignore Gyorumi as well. Kill the Octopa first to remove the restriction on the Gyorumi. Floor 7 is the most annoying floor. Shino can stun us for a long duration, but this can be prevented by hitting the Shiba with a wind skill when he has the wind mark. Wind mark comes right after the mortality mark. Damage restriction is removed on both of them when Shino uses his stun skill. Note that he will still use this skill even when decharmed, but it will not stun us. It is better to lower them both and kill the Shiba first. Stun can be avoided 1 or 2 times even after the Shiba is dead. Floor 8 is another easy floor. Bring at least 2 fire skills to decharm the both mobs. Use fire skill on them when they have a wind mark. It will turn into a fire mark after that. If any of them get 3 fire marks, damage restriction on it will be removed. One thing to note here is that Tabasaki's wind mark has less duration. Floor 9 can be a little tricky. Keep an eye on the damage mark here. Red Nessie will always gain this first, and it will go to Blue Nessie after 15 seconds or so. Note that if we kill Red Nessie while it has the mark, then the mark will not go to the Blue Nessie. Survival can be a bit of problem here, as both of them do extra damage. It is better to kill the Red Nessie fast, then slowly kill the Blue Nessie in that case. Floor 10 is the last floor in this guide. This one can be a bit tricky as well. Real battle starts when Alstora is spawned, and it reaches 3.2 million HP. This is when it will start buffing the boss. Alstora will buff the boss 4 times. Each buff will change the stage mark on the boss, but we can stop the Alstora buffing by hitting it 1 time. So, we can select the mark we want. This will determine how much damage we will take from next attack of the boss. But there is a twist. If we select higher stage mark, then higher amount of damage restriction is temporarily removed from the boss afterward. Keep repeating the same things to eventually clear. I won't recommend going higher than stage 2, if your stats are not high enough. If you want more survival, then you can take more wind and soil defense. Most of the attacks here are single target, so only one of us needs to have high stats. Also, don't use strike earrings if Yom has a low resilience stat. It will be troublesome to heal all that damage. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. See you next time.